Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters, your Magic the Gathering source that helps you command your budget. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support. Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Quarters studio. Welcome to the show. So week 2, day 3 of spoiler season is off to, well, a pretty unbelievable start. I mean, first of all, we got Hinata Crown of Dawn, an absolutely broken commander. Well, in my opinion, it might not seem all that broken at first glance, but then the more that you delve into it, the more and more broken it gets. So to find out what I mean by that, make sure you check that episode out at some point, but not before you watch this episode on Isshin, Two Heavens as One, because this commander, well, is incredibly powerful, not nearly as broken, in my opinion, as Hinata, but still, I think that this is going to be a very popular commander, perhaps the most popular commander out of the entire set. But before I jump into this episode, a huge thank you to Eddie for all the fantastic discussions around these cards during spoiler season. And of course, if I make any mistakes on this episode or any other episode, or you just don't like the episode, make sure you blame Eddie below in the comments, or, just blame Eddie for anything. So with all that said, let's jump into it. Isshin, Two Heavens as One is a 3/4 samurai that costs red, white, black. He has, if a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Now, you might be thinking, wait, don't we already have one of these commanders out there? And yeah, I'll cover that here in just a little bit. I promise this is slightly different. Again, I did a double take when I saw this one as well. Regardless, we have a Mardu commander that is a true attack Harmonicon commander. Again, let's read this. If a creature attacking, it doesn't say if a creature you control attacking. So any creature that attacks, it is going to double up on any of your attack triggers. So again, for any of your permanents that actually have an attack trigger, that ability is going to trigger a second time. So, and I've actually mentioned this on a few episodes, but yeah, we already have seen what a Panharmonicon commander, with, Yarok in the past, and we've all seen a Death Harmonicon commander with Teysa, and then, a Spell Harmonicon commander with that Izzet commander whose name escapes me right now. Blame Eddie in the comments below for me forgetting what the name is of that one. Anyways, now we are seeing a true Attack Harmonicon commander. This commander has a ton of potential, and like I mentioned in my previous episode, we are starting to see in this set a couple of 3-color commanders, and I believe that this is actually the third 3-color commander that has been spoiled. So yeah, I definitely think we are getting a cycle of 3-color commanders, so there's probably 2 more to come after this. Regardless, yeah, Mardu colors can be pretty popular, and an Attack Harmonicon commander in Mardu, yeah. There's going to be a lot of players that are very excited about this, and there's a lot of exciting and powerful things that you can do with this, and you can actually kind of take this commander in a couple of different directions, depending on what you really want to do with it. But really quick, before we talk about cards that work well with this commander, let's talk about that previous commander that I mentioned that, well, this is definitely reminiscent of. And that, of course, would be Wolfgar of Icewind Dale. And again, yeah, when I first saw the new commander, I was like, wait, don't we already have, just another commander in Gruul that does that exact thing? But, again, like I mentioned, this is slightly different and actually not a true Attack Harmonicon commander, I guess. Because Wolfgar says, if a creature you control attacking would cause a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers initial time. This one specifies your own creatures. So, obviously, this does not apply to when your opponent's creatures are attacking. And you might be thinking, well, okay, if you've got creatures with attack triggers, isn't that basically the exact same thing? I mean, when is your opponent's creature attacking ever going to actually trigger something that you control? And there's actually quite a few things out there that can be very impactful with this new commander, and a lot of fun with this new commander as well. Because now with this true attack Harmonicon commander, we can double up on things like Kazul, Tyrant of the Cliffs, Mangar the Diplomat, and Revenge of Ravens. Kazul is a card that, well, absolutely wrecked one of my decks on its own. Thank you, Eddie. Hashtag blame Eddie below in the comments for that. Anyways, it said whenever a creature an opponent controls attacks, if you're the defending player, create a 3/3 red ogre creature token unless that creature's controller pays 3. So if someone swings at you, now that is going to trigger twice for each creature that's attacking you. So unless they pay 3, well, 3 twice, you're going to be making a ton of 3/3s. For each creature that is attacking you, basically, they have to pay 6 mana or you're getting 2 3/3s. And yeah, again, that is a huge deterrent from your opponents ever attacking you. And if they do, they're going to be in big trouble. And speaking of getting a benefit from your opponent attacking you, how about Mangar the Diplomat? It has whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you and are planeswalkers you control, draw a card. So with this one, it doesn't matter how many creatures are attacking you or a planeswalker you control, as long as one of them is doing so, well, Mangar is going to draw you a card, but again, thanks to your new commander, it's going to double up on that attack trigger as well. So basically, if anyone attacks you, you draw 2 cards. Great. And speaking of great, Revenge of Ravens is an enchantment for 3 and a black, and it says whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So for every single creature that is attacking you, that creature's controller is losing 2 life, again, per creature, and you gain 2 life. This is a massive attack deterrent. I mean, again, if your opponents just have a bunch of 2/2s in play, there's absolutely no reason to attack you because it's just going to hurt them. And even with some slightly larger creatures in play, I mean, your opponents are going to have a very tough decision on their hands. Next up, though, let's talk about Emberwild Captain, Curse of Opulence, and Curse of Disturbance, all of which can work very well with this new commander as well. When Emberwild Captain enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch, and whenever an opponent attacks you while you're the Monarch, Emberwild Captain deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand. With this commander, bringing the Monarch into the game can be incredibly beneficial to you. Again, if you've got a ton of attack deterrents in play, well, if your opponents want to get the Monarch off your hands and they want to take it for themselves, they're going to have to pay a heavy price, number 1. Number 2, if they're not willing to pay that price, well, you get to keep the Monarch and all that extra card draw. And again, with that heavy price with Emberwild Captain, if they do attack you, they're going to be taking essentially twice the amount of cards in their hand as damage. So if they've got a full grip, that's 14 damage just for attacking you. Next up, with this commander, of course, some curses can be very effective as well. Curse of Opulence says, whenever enchanted player is attacked, create a colorless artifact token named Gold. It has sacrifice this artifact, add 1 of any color to your mana pool. Each opponent attacking that player does the same. So players are going to be further incentivized to actually attack the player that is cursed with this. Because now instead of just getting 1 gold, well, they get 2 when they attack that player, and you know what? So do you. So that's pretty absurd for a 1 mana enchantment that already is incredibly efficient. And in a similar way, another curse that can be effective is Curse of Disturbance. It says, whenever enchanted player is attacked, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Each opponent attacking that player does the same. So that player, again, is going to be more incentivized to attack that player that is cursed because, hey, you get 2 zombies if you do so, but guess what? So do we. And of course, aside from all these, attack deterrences or, attack encouragements on other players, there's a lot of powerful things that we can do with this commander. I mean, just take a look at the Titans with, of course, Sun Titan, Grave Titan, and Inferno Titan. Each, of course, has an ETB trigger, but they also get the exact same trigger when they attack. Sun Titan has, when it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. On 1 attack, then, with this commander in play, we get to return 2 things from our graveyard right back to the battlefield. Yeah, that's powerful. Speaking of which, there's Grave Titan. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, put 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield. So now instead of 2 zombies, we are getting 4 on an attack. I mean, that is 8 total power across 4 bodies on every single attack. And of course, Inferno Titan has, when it enters the battlefield or attacks, it deals 3 damage divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 targets. So now that's what, 6 damage in total? So yeah, with this commander, you can definitely do a lot of powerful things with these Titans. Gives a whole new meaning to Attack Titan. No? Attack on Titan fans out there? Anyone? The final season's incredible. Anyways. But of course, there are a ton of great attack triggers to pick from. I mean, let's just highlight a couple with Atali, Ilharg, and Dracoseth right here and now. Atali, Primal Storm, says when it attacks, exile the top card of each player's library, then you may cast any number of spells from among those cards without paying their mana costs. So essentially, again, with 1 attack, you would normally be able to cast, up to 4 things for free, which is incredible. But now with this commander, that doubles that, so you can cast basically up to 8 things for free with this commander. That is an absurd amount of value that can obviously snowball incredibly quickly. And speaking of value, how about Ilharg the Raised Boar? It's a 6/6 with trample that has, when it attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand on the battlefield tapped and attacking. Return that creature to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. So basically, cheat a creature out into play that's already tapped and attacking temporarily, and yeah, now instead of just doing this once, you do it twice on attack. Though, do keep in mind that those creatures that you are cheating out, if they do have an attack trigger on them, we don't get those attack triggers because they're already tapped and attacking. But still, Ilharg the Raised Boar is incredible at this new commander. Speaking of which, there's Drakuseth Maw of Flames, which has, when it attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to each of up to 2 other targets. So basically that's 10 damage in total spread across 3 different targets, but now again that's doubled, so that's what, 20 damage in total spread across 6 targets? Yeah, you can take out a lot of things and a lot of players with that. And of course, I've got to mention cards like Hero Bladehold, Sword of the Animist, and Aurelia the War Leader. Hero Bladehold has Battle Cry. When it attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, and on top of that, whenever it attacks, put 2 1/1 White Soldier creature tokens onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. So first up, yeah, that Battle Cry is going to double, so now every single one of your creatures is getting +2/+0 until the end of the turn. And of course, again, we double up on our token production too, so we are going to be getting 2 more soldiers on top of the 2 we already get for a total of 4 1/1 soldiers tapped and attacking. But of course, this commander can also help us ramp further in combination with Sword of the Animist, which says equipped creature gets +1/+1, and whenever equipped creature attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. So every single time you attack, you go get 2 lands. I mean, obviously that's not the same as Primeval Titan, which, is banned for a reason, and can go get any lands, but this still is kind of like a mini Primeval Titan effect, getting you 2 basics, and being able to ramp 2 lands on every single attack is huge. Especially when you can get multiple attacks in a turn with something like Aurelia the War Leader. And actually, rules lawyers out there, please check me below in the comments if I am wrong on this one. I very well might be, but here goes. She has, when she attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there's no combat phase. So yeah, have fun with your extra combats. All 2 of them, which then you're going to get more attack triggers from all your other things. And yeah, that's going to be pretty fun for you, at least. And speaking of fun, well again, fun for you, of course you can include some Eldrazi with that lovely Annihilator keyword, like Ulamog's Crusher, Pathrazor Ulamog, and Ulamog the Infinite Gyre. All Ulamog, all day. Ulamog's Crusher has Annihilator too, so that means when this creature attacks, defending player sacrifices 2 permanents. But again, because of your commander, that attack trigger doubles, so it's basically Annihilator 4. So then Pathrazor of Ulamog has Annihilator 3, which again means 3 permanents usually, but with this commander that doubles basically to Annihilator 6. And of course, Ulamog itself has Annihilator 4, which again basically doubles to Annihilator 8. Good luck to your opponents ever recovering from that. Now, of course, Isshin can be a very powerful and very effective commander on its own, but when it comes to being in the 99 of other decks, I think there are definitely going to be commanders that might want it, like, Saskia the Unyielding. Saskia is a 3/4 human soldier with vigilance and haste, and she has, when she enters the battlefield, choose a player. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, deals that much damage to the chosen player. So Saskia decks can be very aggressive, and most definitely can have some very effective creatures in their decks that deal with attack triggers, so doubling up on those can be very effective. Next up, how about Bruce Tarl? Okay, at least I should say a Bruce Tarl partner deck in combination with a partner that at least has black in its color identity. Regardless, Bruce Tarl has, when it enters the battlefield or attacks, target creature you control, it gains double strike and lifelink until end of turn. So yeah, Isshin actually doubles up on this attack trigger, so you can choose 2 creatures to give double strike and lifelink to, which is a very powerful thing. And of course, obviously with this being a partner commander, you can pick and choose that other partner, for either whatever that partner does, or just kind of to get the exact colors that you want, so you can get, a 3 or 4 color deck essentially that can be very powerful, focusing on attack triggers. And finally, one other commander that I do want to mention here is Corona False God. Corona is a 5/5 that costs 1 in Wooburg and has haste, and it has at the beginning of each player's upkeep that player untaps Corona False God and gains control of it. She also has, when she attacks creatures of the type of your choice, get +3/+3 until end of turn. So Corona can be built in a couple of different ways, but one of the most popular ways is kind of like a group hug style commander that is looking to incentivize opponents to attack elsewhere with their army that is getting pumped by Corona. So again, you can utilize a lot of those Revenge of Ravens type cards in this deck, which can really work well in doubling up again with Isshin. But again, also, when your opponents attack with Corona, they only are going to get +3/+3 with that attack. However, when you attack with Corona, you're going to be getting that trigger twice, so that's going to be +6/+6, which can be incredibly deadly with your army. But now as this episode is coming to a close, it's time for me to give you my final thoughts on Isshin to Heavens is One. Again, I originally thought that Wolfgar was the official attack card Monocon commander, but I was slightly wrong on that because, yeah, I mean, this one just is a full attack card Monocon commander that counts when any creature is attacking, not just your own. So again, because of that, you can include things like, again, like Azul, or Mangara, or Revenge of Ravens, which can really impact the game and doubling up those triggers with this commander. So incentivize your opponents to not swing at you, or to swing elsewhere, and also double up on your attack triggers. Yeah, there's a lot of powerful things that you can do with this commander, and I think a lot of players are going to be very excited about it. And again, now that we are seeing the third of these 3-color commanders, I am pretty convinced that we're going to be getting a full cycle of them, so I'm excited to see the other 2 3-color commanders that are potentially going to be showing up here in just a bit. So for those potential spoilers and other exciting spoilers, make sure you're staying tuned to this channel. And with that, the show is coming to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts on this episode are, and as always, thanks again and have a good one.